What's happening? My name is Samuel Patrick. I am the creator and host of LFOD Radio. That stands for Live Free or Die. We broadcast on 91.5 FM in the greater Boston area and streaming at LFOD.Radio.com. I wanted to make a video, help folks out, give them some parameters to work with, and answer a question that they may have or you may have. How do I get my music onto the radio? Now, this is all going to apply whether you're trying to get on FM, whether you're trying to get on an internet station, almost anywhere across the board where you're dealing with submissions. You might be sending things out and wondering why you're not hearing back or what the deal is. First of all, I would say be patient. It's never personal. People are getting bombarded nonstop with music. If anything, just keep working. Keep making more noise. You'll get folks' attention if you're consistent at some point. But there are some very basic things you can do to make sure you don't shoot yourself in the foot right off the bat. So the first step is you're going to want to find their contact info. There's a number of ways to do this. You can literally go on Twitter, go in the search for submissions, find people who are talking about this already. You can go on Google. There's people who have already made lists that you can get access to or sometimes pay for. You can ask your friends, follow other artists, see where they're getting played, get an idea who's playing the type of music that you would fit into a playlist with. You can, I know at one point what I did was I went up and I found the website for every single college station in our area that had a radio program. And then if you go on there, you can find their contact info, find out how they like to be sent music, find out who is in charge of the music there. Basically, you're looking for emails. Some of these guys will have submissions forms. I know we use a submission form right now. All that info is usually right in their bio. It's really, read the bio. Whether it's the bio of a specific show or a station entirely, they have that info available. So the first thing you're going to need to do is find that contact info. That's a little bit of grunt work, but you'll get it, and you build it as you go. Make a spreadsheet, track that info, track when you're sending, who you've sent records to, when you sent them, did you follow up, did they play it, any notes. Find out if they want clean or dirty records. I would always send a clean along with the dirty just because you're dealing with DJs here, and so that might not be their only gig. They might be doing other gigs and they might need a radio edit, or vice versa. They might need the radio edit for the radio, but when they're at the club later, they want to play the dirty version. So that's something that takes place when you leave the studio. Don't leave the studio without your clean mix and your dirty mix. So you have your contact info. The next step is going to be, how do you contact them? There's two schools of thought here. You can either put together an email blast and send out one email on your end that hits all their inboxes. There's also another school of thought where you approach each person individually and personalize. I'm of the mindset that it's better for everyone if artists are spending their time making art, not sending emails. So I don't care if you send us something that you send to a million other people. Some folks, they like to be treated specially. They like to feel that you're invested in having a relationship with them. So that's kind of up to you how you want to decide to do that. Maybe you reach out personally at first and then progress in another way. Definitely know who you're reaching out to, though. Don't waste their time. So, don't send your music to a station that only plays a completely different type of music, because if they open your email and it's not something they can use, they're much less likely to open it again going down the line. You can also, if you choose to, you can hire a publicist, a record promoter to do this step for you. It is about, and they have taken the time to cultivate these relationships already. So the folks who do need that personal touch, they can get to them. Once you've decided, whichever you decide though, this next part is very important. And if you do this part right, I think it'll make folks who might not be so into the mass email, it'll make them feel a little better about it, as long as you show that you've put thought into creating the message that you're sending out. I mean, to be honest, sometimes we get literally just a song, empty email, no subject, no body, just an attached record. And that does, you give pause, you're like, come on, like, do you care at all about this interaction here? Because this gets to the next step. You want to give the person who's playing your music all the tools they need to talk about your music, to share your music, to spread it, to add context to it. Because let's say I'll listen to those records, and maybe I like it. I can't even necessarily play it right away. I have to send you an email back and find out, like, who's the artist? What is this about? Where do I tag them? So every submission you send should have this information in it. You want to put the artist's name. If you're an artist sending it yourself, that's you. If you're a manager, introduce yourself as well, but include the artist name, the song name, any featured artists who are on the song. You need your social media info. I know when we are live, we're tagging artists on Twitter the whole time so they can retweet it, get their fans to tune in, flex a little, So make it easy for us to tag you. We put up a playlist later. It's much better if we just have your info right off the bat instead of having to go find you. So social media, some context for the song. Is it a single? Is it off an album that's on the way? Is it off an album that's already out? Is there a music video? So let's say we play it and we're feeling it. When we come back on air from that session of songs, we say, yo, that was blah, blah, blah by so-and-so. That's off this album. It's out right now. Check out the video that goes along with it. That gives it a little boost versus us saying, like, yeah, that was a cool song. They sent it to us. I don't know anything about it, but we have it now. Is it an exclusive? That's always nice if you send DJs the record in advance so they can break it. In a similar sense, give us some context for the artist. Doesn't need to be too crazy. A short bio, literally 3 to 5 sentences. It can be as simple as, where you're from, what you've done in the past, where you're heading, a little bit about you. Doesn't have to be crazy. People are on the go, they're moving pretty quick. But if you can pull up an email and get like a picture of this artist, that definitely goes a long way. And you can include the artwork as well, in case they want to share that along with a playlist. Basically, you're contacting people who listen to music professionally, talk about music professionally, have opinions about music professionally. Their friends are asking them, even if it's a tiny station with 3 listeners, that's the person in their friend group who is really digging on music, and their friends are asking them what is up next, what they should be listening to. So you want to give people all the tools you can for them to talk about your music, to talk about your art, to promote you. So let's say we have that context and we come back from the song and we're able to talk about it. That's going to go much further for a listener listening back. Now they can go look you up, versus if somebody else sent us the info and you didn't, we're probably going to talk about them. And especially if there's a cool story or something extra attached to it that pushes it over the top. And on the flip side, other industry folks listen to these shows, check their playlists, and they'll ask me, what's up with this? Who's that? What are you feeling? And the more tools we have to say, yo, we got this record from so-and-so. It's kind of cool. They're from your area, actually. Their bio says they were born right over there. They got a single on the way. I'd keep an eye out for it. Or maybe, you guys share a lot of music videos. There's a video for this song. We've been playing it. Check that out. And basically give more info than just like the song. You're really submitting the whole piece of work. So basically figure out who you're going to contact, how you're going to contact them, and then put together an email that has the artist name, the song name, your social media, what is the context for this song, who is the artist that they're about to play, include the artwork, send it off. When it comes to being personal, if you do it one by one, this is why I don't care, because I still feel like it's a strategy to it, but you're basically putting in their name, and they like it if you've listened to their show before, so maybe be able to comment on something they played or let them know why you think they like it. So that's if you're going to go that route. Maybe do that for folks that are in your market already, like if you're a Boston artist, maybe you do that for shows in New England, but then people who are further away, you give them the blanket pitch. But if you do send the mass email, just make sure they understand, oh, I get why they did this. They still put a lot of thought into it. It still has everything we would need to go to get a conversation started, and they're just sending it this way. So get all that together, send it to them. If it's a online submission, just make sure you follow their notes, their rules. Some, if you're submitting to blogs, some of them literally you need to put the subject line a specific way. So just be aware of who you're talking to and approach them correctly, and just take it as such. I know we don't take DMs. We read DMs, but we don't listen to music in the DMs. If I open your DM, it's because you might have a question and I want to be able to answer it. If I open it and I see you've sent me a song to listen to, well, maybe I didn't have 3 minutes just then. Maybe I was really quickly, I had 30 seconds. I was hoping to help you out. Now I have to remember to go back to your DM and check that. But if you send it according to what's in our bio and what's everyone else's bio, when they sit down to get their submissions together to prepare their show, you're going to be right there in front of them. They're going to have blocked off that time to listen to music. They're going to be there to do nothing but hear your music. And if you give them the tools they need, they're going to be able to play it and share it. And if you want to, you can follow up. A lot of these shows, the more indie ones might only be weekly. Bigger shows might happen daily or a couple times a week. If you're reaching out to a DJ, they're probably getting flooded. So, don't be super pushy, but, check a week later, something like that. And then just keep sending them music when you have new music. Unless they literally say, please stop, I don't like your music, do not send me anymore. Just keep sending it. Don't take silence as a no. Sometimes they've been reading it all along. It just hasn't been a song that fit with a mix or fit what they were trying to do. And you never know when, and they might even like it personally, but it's just not something they can play. And you never know when you're going to send something that, boom, that works. That's what they needed. So they might be listening and just following your progress and, hearing you. You're good enough to open it maybe, but, not to play. And then at a certain point, if you keep at it, you'll send the right records. So that's my advice. That's how I would approach it. I think you're going to find that you have a lot more success if you do it this way. If you're confused, DM, reach out, ask, hey, what's the best way to send you some music? And folks will usually answer. And then plus now they already know your name, so they're going to be looking for it. And that's really all there is to it. If you want to send us music, LFOD.Life/submissions. There's a whole form and everything. If you're sending it for radio play, there's a Dropbox you can drop it in. Include this info we just talked about. And, reach out if you have any questions. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all making music, sharing it, and just, spreading that energy. All right, peace.